Happy Friday? Yeah, happy Friday. Welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. We are here in Flight Sim 2024 with the official launch of Sim Update number 1. That happened yesterday afternoon to, I think, everyone's surprise. I had an alert on my phone telling me that there was some news, looked at it, and wow, okay, cool. They launched it out. So it's nothing new for me or those who were on the last beta for Sim Update 1 because it is that version. They just pushed it to the general public, and that's good. That means it was stable. I had zero issues with it. I was actually just talking to someone yesterday about it, and I said it would probably be coming out any day now because it's very stable. And of course, I think it actually came out like within that time I was talking with that individual about it, so rather interesting. But they're hard at work at Sim Update 2 now, and they said that beta should be starting very soon, and that update will have an even bigger amount of bug fixes and maybe feature drops, whatever it be, part of it. So looking forward to that. We'll see what they can change with that, and hopefully now that Sim Update 1 is out, iFly can focus on the 737 and bring that on over to 2024. They pushed out a plugin update this week, so that might be the step we need to get 2024 iFly. So we'll see what happens. I'm super excited. I'm hoping it comes maybe next week. That'd be awesome, but we'll see what happens. We do know that PMGG did announce that the 777 will be coming to 2024 before the 737. So we probably won't see the PMDG 737 until maybe this summer, maybe fall. We'll kind of see what happens. They're kind of pushing that one back, which is crazy to think because they do make high quality stuff. When they push things out, it's typically good day one. It's not riddled with any issues. Performance is normally really good out of the box, but they just take their sweet time doing it, which is good that we have a product that's great and ready to go. But also when you're eager to fly and use that plane, it kind of sucks. So we'll see. And I'm sure Any Builds is working on an A350 update number 2, so we'll see what comes out with that. I haven't flown it for a couple days now. I've kind of been back here in the Phoenix. I did a flight yesterday in the CRJ last night. A lot of fun. It does work in 2024. I haven't really experienced too many issues with it in 2024. Just drop it into the 2024 community folder. You may have to delete the WASM folder that it creates, if there are some issues, but overall it's been pretty good. We are here in APL as well, back in the pilot's life. Welcome in, Fry. Welcome in. And I'm having a blast using this again. I last had JetBlue, and I wanted to do more flights throughout the US than just on the East Coast. And of course, here we are on the East Coast flight, which is Boston to DCA. But I did apply for United and American, and of course Delta. Delta rejected me instantly, pretty much. So I had to decide between American and United, and it was a pretty hard decision. It was really hard for me, honestly, because United is an airline that I prefer myself, but American has a few more routes, and American kind of spread over, all over the U.S. a bit more than United in terms of like those mid to short hops. So that's why I picked that. And of course, I did a flight yesterday morning that I thought about streaming, but I decided not to, and with APL, and I forgot to turn on what's it called, FSUPIC, and of course, so it didn't track the flight. So here we are. This isn't the flight. I did that flight last night, so here we are with a different flight. But of course, we are using Beyondatc. Works flawlessly with 2024 and with this beautiful Phoenix. We are this American A319 right there. So let's jump into the cockpit. This is actually the real world flight. This is a 319 that American flies from Boston DCA. We're using their call sign. Their flight number. as well, which is American 464. That's one thing that I like about APL is that I am using the what's it called? Real airline numbers with APL versus always using 516. So I kind of like that. Anywho, let's go over here and we're going to go to Phoenix, import it. And we're going to go to mass and balance, load the aircraft, instant load it. And we're going to go over here and sync and calculate. All right, now we got that done. Let's go up top here and let's go to external power. Battery 1, 2, pumps are coming on board. Crew supply is on, and we'll get those lights on as well. Master switch is on. Emergency, smoking, and seatbelt. Let's get that APU started up. And if you've been on my streams before, you know that I'm pretty consistent in how I start this plane. It's actually funny because my wife, I think it was last Sunday, as I was going through my flow here, she's like watching me, and she doesn't watch me fly by any means. She's not really a big nerd like I am in flight sim. But she's like, "How do you remember all that?" I'm like, "Well, I've done it a billion times." It's pretty easy when you've done it a billion times. I think the connection's kind of being goofy right now with YouTube, so give it a couple seconds to buffer its way out, and things should be figured eventually. I'm showing the 5 bars that is now. Alright, so we're gonna go hit this button, gonna bring in the information. We're American 464. Drop that in there. Cost index, we can use our briefing panel. Fetch that. And 15 for our cost index. Cruising up to 380. Drop that in there. We can get rid of that. And now, swing on over here. Send this to the McDo. Go back. Send this to the McDo. Go to ground services. And now we should have our fuel. And we should also have our speeds. Beautiful. Flight plan is, I found an issue with Sim Update 1. It is also on the form. If you start a flight and then go to the airport to assign a gate, then start a flight, it will not work. If you start a flight and then go to the airport to assign a gate, then start flight.
Squawk 0552. Delta 644. Delta 644, read back correct.
So you're saying that if you go to the airport, like, so here, I'm here in Boston. If I select a gate and then click start flight and don't zoom out, it doesn't work? That's interesting. I haven't had that issue. I did that literally, if it's what I'm thinking, I did that literally, like, whatever, 8 minutes ago. I didn't zoom out. That's the thing, like, with any software. It's crazy how certain bugs can be there. It's wild. Especially something like that. We're expecting the ILS 1 via DL3. And insert that. Okay, flight plan is set. APU is available, so let's go APU bleed. And external power is off. You have to zoom in and select the gate without zooming out, or it fails. Oh, without zooming out. Oh. If you zoom out, it will fail. Does it sit in like an endless loop? An endless loop of loading? Because I remember having that happen a couple times. That's interesting if that's the case.
Contact ground 121.9er when ready for push or start. Ground 121.9er.
That would be very interesting.
United 592.
Alright, let's go ahead and get our clearance.
American 464 on our way to Ronald Reagan Washington National.
American 464, Boston clearance cleared to Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. SOX 7 departure, SOX transition, then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.0, squawk 5135.
Cleared to Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. SOX 7 departure at SOX transition, then as filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.0. Squawk
Endless loop without zooming
5135.
out.
American
Interesting.
464.
Yeah, I've had that happen. I do recall that one.
Read back correct. Contact ground 121.
That is interesting.
For pushback or engine start.
Ground 121.9 when ready for pushback or engine start. American 464.
It'd be interesting to know
Have
how
a
many
good
people
morning.
participate in the beta. I did it because I want to fly this
American
737
464
and the
at gate
CRJ,
Bravo 20. Request pushback.
in all honesty. And we'll see what announcement comes for the sim update 2.
Boston ground pushback
Alright,
and engine start
so we're pushing back to the east.
Pushback approved. Face east. American 464.
Mikey, welcome on in. Alright, so this is an airport we don't have the ground information on for some crazy reason.
Taxi for departure.
Just random ones with using pushback planner here. Alright, release the parking brake and push that. Good to go. Let's go on down here. And that going, that up, start. I know we don't do these yet, but I like to do them now.
Hold short runway.
And I'm not going to do the announcements for this one. Alright, pushback is starting. Engine should be spooling on up. Looking good there. I still have issues where after I land and unload at the gate and try to go back to the main menu, it's doing endless loops. Really? I haven't had that issue in a long time. Is it like every plane, Mikey? Is it certain planes? I know like the 306. That one can cause me issues. That can cause me the main menu issue from time to time. Once in a while, if I try to exit the sim, you know, in the main menu, it won't exit. I have to end the task.
Pushback approved. Face east.
Alright, so I'm thinking Echo Bravo Charlie Delta. That's what I'm expecting.
United 592, cross runway 4 left at
Engine
Charlie.
number 2.
Continue taxi via Charlie. Hold short runway 4 right.
Cross runway 4 left at Charlie.
I'll bring up the sounds a little bit. I think they're a little low.
Hold short
Every
runway
plane.
4 right. United 592.
Interesting. Alright, taxi to runway.
American 464. Request taxi to the active.
And max on the brakes. Flaps are going to be a 1 for departure.
464, runway 33 left taxi.
Oh, they changed their runway.
Bravo, Kilo, Mike,
Well, son of a
Papa.
gun.
Hold short runway 4 right.
Oops.
Runway 33. Left taxi via Echo. Bravo. Kilo. Mike. Papa. Hold short runway 4 right. American 464.
3-3 left. We're doing this SOC 7 departure still. And then we have to confirm this information. And just like that. Alright, what are we doing? Echo Bravo Kilo
Delta 644, cross runway 4
Mike
left at Charlie. Continue taxi via Charlie. Hold short runway 4
Papa.
right. Cross runway 4 left at Charlie. Continue taxi via Charlie. Hold short
Papa.
runway 4 right, Delta 644.
I don't know about Papa. Our taxi lights are
United
on.
592,
And just to
cross
verify,
runway 4,
APL
right at
is
Charlie.
connected.
Continue taxi via Charlie.
Alright.
Hold short runway 9er.
Leads are off, masters off, all calls
Cross
on.
runway 4
Taxi
right
light
at
is
Charlie.
on.
Continue taxi
Down
via
here,
Charlie.
takeoff config
Hold
is
short
good.
runway 9er, United 592.
Alright, taking this to Bravo.
JetBlue 1245, request taxi. JetBlue 1245.
There's a lot of traffic. I'm gonna throw my head
left taxi
head tracker
via
on.
Alpha,
Hopefully it doesn't make anyone sick.
Short runway 4 left.
Sometimes you're...
Runway tree
Oops, I'm going the wrong way.
via Alpha, Charlie. Hold short runway 4 left. JetBlue 1245.
Sometimes you get surprises with traffic with Beyondatc.
1157. Ready to taxi to the active.
Spirit 1157, runway 33 left taxi via Charlie. Hold short runway 4 left.
Alright, we were instructed to
Runway
hold
33
short
left taxi via Charlie.
or
Hold short runway 4
right.
left. Spirit 1157.
Delta 644, cross runway 4 right at
I don't think I've
Charlie.
ever taxied this way
Continue
before.
taxi via Charlie. Hold short runway
In Boston.
9er.
There's a Delta, I think.
592, cross runway 9er and Charlie. Continue taxi via Charlie.
That seems like a weird way to taxi me.
Cross runway 9er at Charlie. Continue taxi via Charlie. United 592.
A really weird way to taxi me.
Spirit 1157, cross runway 4 left at Charlie. Continue taxi.
Alright, and we're gonna hold short up here. Or 4 right.
Cross runway 4 left at Charlie. Continue taxi via Charlie. Hold short runway.
So we're gonna be behind that
Spirit
Delta,
1157.
I think.
American 464, cross runway 4
Nope.
right at Delta. Continue taxi via Papa
We're gonna
Delta
continue on
Charlie.
Delta.
Hold short runway 9er.
Cross runway 4 right at Delta. Continue taxi via Papa, Delta Charlie. Hold short runway 9er, American 464.
Yep. Oh, I thought I saw a Spirit over there.
Contact Boston Tower 128.8.
Contact tower 128.8.
So, I think I talked about this before. A couple weeks ago I bought a OLED monitor. And it's a 165 hertz monitor. Well, my 4080 with Flight Sim, there's no way I'm getting 165 with Flight Sim. So I've been messing around with figuring out the best way to cap the frames with it. So I found that capping at 100 hertz seems to work best. So I have my refresh rate at 100, but I cap the FPS at 96, and that seems to give me the best performance with everything, not just Flight Sim, but every single title I've thrown at it so far. Did testing with. Alright, so we're holding short here. We got some nice weather here in Boston today.
Cross runway 4 right at Charlie.
If you haven't seen the video, this is kind of looks like the
Hold
video
short runway 9er, Spirit
that I did in
1157.
Boston. A lot of traffic.
Delta 644, contact Boston Tower 128.8. See you. Contact Tower 128.8.
Alright, now we're just waiting for our turn.
American 464.
Here we go.
Cross runway 9er at Charlie.
Here's American United taking off.
Cross runway 9er at Charlie. Continue taxi via Charlie, American 464.
Alright, head tracker's coming off. We don't need that anymore. And we're going to continue via Charlie and go all the way down to Charlie.
Request pushback and engine start.
I heard the all call, so we should be good for departure here.
Boston ground pushback approved.
One thing I'm failing to remember with APL is that you do need to make sure you're under 30 knots when taxiing, because else you get dinged. And I flew with New Sky for so long that that restriction's not there. Well, it's there, but at like 50 knots. And on air, I think it's like 40 or 45 or something like that.
Continue taxi via Charlie. Hold short runway 9er.
Now, I know you can't see it on the screen, but like this here with OLED is so bright. It's so cool.
American 464. Contact Boston Tower 128.8.
All right, they're departing.
Contact tower 128.8, American 464.
American 464, ready to go. Runway 33 left. Landing lights are on.
American 464.
Line up and wait.
Runway 33 left. Line up and wait.
Been flying X-Plane and have to say
Line up and
MSFS
wait.
does
Runway
have the
33
graphics
left.
quality. I just wish I had the ability to save
464.
state. Yeah, the save states would be freaking awesome. I would do long hauls. Jay Russ he sent me a message the other day. He was doing across the pond kind of flight, and I would do something like that if I had save state. Especially like
American 464. Boston Tower.
you can pick up Beyondatc whenever.
Our nav to tech. Runway 33 left. Cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff. RNAV to tech.
Runway 33 left.
And we are flexing.
Takeoff, American 464.
Oh, super pause there.
Delta 644.
Alright, we get a little bit of a gust. Well, not a little bit. A 30 knot wind. A little bit left of our nose.
Delta 644.
And let's rotate. Okay, just giving it a bit of trim so we can maintain, not trim, rudder pedal so we can maintain the center line.
1157. Ready for departure.
Gear going up.
33 left.
And now we're going to follow the
1157.
departure.
3 left. Line up and wait.
Runway 33 left. Line up and wait. Spirit 1157.
Alright, climb lever.
Spirit 1157. Boston Tower. Wind 305 and
A little bit to the left. Flaps are coming up.
Are named to tech.
And ground spoilers are stowed.
Cleared for takeoff.
And we're cleared via the SID.
Runway
So I have
33
programmed
left.
in the FCU
Cleared for takeoff.
10,000 at this point.
Spirit 1157.
American 464. Contact Boston departure.
Contact Boston departure. American
head over to departure.
464. Boston departure. American 464. Good day 2800.
American 464.
19.
Boston departure. Radar contact. Climb, maintain flight level 190.
Climb, maintain flight level 190. American 464.
Alright, I'd say that's a pretty good departure out of Boston. Alright, we're going to hand fly it up to 10,000 and then we'll throw AP on. Because I want to look at some Boston down below. Admire the graphics that Fry can't see right now. But Fry, you said with you have a lot of Orbex going on there, so or not Orbex, ortho. So it should look a lot better than, well, it will look a lot better than default X-Plane. But X-Plane's never been one for the graphics. X-Plane's all about the physics.
Spirit 1157. Boston departure. Good day. Radar contact. Climb and maintain 17,000.
It'll be interesting to see if Flight Sim, if Microsoft and Asobo can ever get Flight Sim certified to be used for training. Because so many people, real-world pilots, have said that 2024 has helped substantially with the physics. You know, we're not seeing that massive ground air change on landing, which is a big plus. I've forgotten how bad that was ever since using 2024. It's also wild to think that 2024 has been out for almost 5 months now. All right, landing lights are coming off.
Boston departure. JetBlue 1245. 700 feet.
God, almost a half a year.
JetBlue
Jeez,
1245.
I can't believe that.
Boston departure. Good day. Radar contact. Climb, maintain flight
I'm on
level
pace to
180.
destroy my 2020
Climb, maintain flight level
flight time hours.
190. JetBlue 1245.
I am on pace to destroy it. Well, Steam recorded like 3,000 plus hours in Flight Sim 2020. And obviously that's also, you know, loading and downloading all the crazy big updates. I think I'm at like 400 right now with 2024 in 5 months. Again, that's Steam hours. And really, outside of the initial launch week, there's not a whole lot of loading and downloading. So that's taxiing, that's flying, that's sitting and chatting. Alright, we're gonna go AP is, let me get lined up here better. Alright, AP's on. Alright, good departure out of Boston. It's a beautiful. Next week, the big release for the other ATC flight injection. Yeah, I heard. We'll see what happens. I got an email yesterday for some goofy reason, even though I thought I unsubscribed, talking about their in-game traffic thing.
Center on 133.325, American 464.
I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone can touch what Beyondatc has done with traffic. It is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Also, is the video fine? I know last time I streamed, I haven't figured out the HDR stuff, but I think I might have now. I've added in a little bit of brightness contrast. So I think I got it fixed. Yeah, Skynet. Yeah. I had a video all squared up to make a report on that. Standard pressure.
Boston Center, American 464.
And up to 380. But I decided not to post it. I got some good advice from some people. Decided not to post it.
American 464, Boston Center, copy.
Looks good, thank you, Fry. Alright, so we are clear of the SOX departure, and then we'll likely go to Buzz directly. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop that in here. So we go to clear this out and insert there. Okay, so we're expecting, as of right now, runway 1 for the arrival. We'll see if things change. The winds are a bit rough on 1, so we might actually get 19. There's a chance we might get 19. Oh, I forgot to start the clock. Terrible pilot. There's a chance. So here in the Illinois area where I live, we are expecting some crappy weather. Crappy weather today. Wind, cold, rain, snow. They're saying like up to an inch maybe. That's what I would last check. Let me see again. Kind of bounces between like none to some. Thanks for the subscription. Welcome on in. 1 to 2 inches. Rain can mix at times.
Boston Center, American 464.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a crappy day here in the Illinois, northern Illinois area. Just loaded into MSFS 2024 at LAX and getting 113. Jeez. 113. Fry, what do you have again? You have I always forget what you say you have. 4080? Do you have a 4080 as well? Yeah, 113 is amazing. That's without traffic, right? Is that with the builds or is that with the default Asobo 4090? Ah, yeah, okay. Man, the reviews of the 5070, jeez, and bravo to NVIDIA, to AMD. AMD launched their new card. Officially came out yesterday. 2 cards. They the 9070 XT and the 9070 RX were officially launched yesterday, and they are super comparable. Yeah, you have the Alienware. Yeah, no traffic. Super comparable to the 4070 at like like $200 to $300 cheaper. So bravo for them. They apparently sent out emails to the press asking what they should do for the price. This is like a week before launch. And everyone told them you should have it low because you can potentially steal some of the people away. And so they did. They launched it at like whatever, 550 or 600 or something like that. That's what you get with your 5070. Nice. The 50 series, it's just the thing that frustrates me about the 50 series is that they haven't learned their lesson from the 40 series. And I have a 4080. Like, I was one of the dummies that bought the 4080. At whatever, $1,200. I was one of those people. But it's like NVIDIA didn't learn lessons about melting connectors, and now they have the performance issue. and we'll see what else comes up. Like, I don't understand. Like, I knock on wood, my 50 or 4080's been fantastic, and I love this card, and it's the reason why I honestly not even considering buying the 50 series is because my performance is really, really good. Right now, oh, my little FPS count is broken, and I can't bring up the videos, right, in this plane, or with, let me see. With OBS on, it doesn't work. The FPS counter, for some reason, doesn't want to work when I have OBS on. I haven't quite figured out why. But I would say I'm probably getting, let me look around here. Oh yeah, I'm sure I'm getting my max right now, whatever, 96 FPS probably. And of course that's with OBS, which, you know, hurts in the background. I don't know why my
5642 Boston Center, radar contact.
streaming connection's kind of sucking today.
Brickyard
My upload speed's kind of
5642,
sucking.
contact Boston approach
Kind of jumping up and down.
Have a good day.
Contact Boston approach, Brickyard 5642. Have a good one.
I think for flight simmers, we chase FPS, so how much do we really need? Yeah, you know, and that's the problem. I 100%, I'm guilty of it. I need to go to Adults Anonymous. I am Joe, and I have a problem chasing FPS. For sure. Realistically, 60, a smooth 60 is all we really need. But once you get the taste of anything above it, you know, when you get that taste of 70, you're like, ooh, yeah. And then you get that taste of 80, like, yeah, 90, oh my gosh, can't get any lower than that. And that seems to be the problem. Because I remember, this was like 5-6 years ago, I was content with my 60 hertz monitor. And a coworker, he's like, yeah, you know, he had a 75 hertz, I think he said. No, I think he said he had a 120. He's like, I can never go back. I'm like, you're crazy now. 60 is perfect. Can't get any better than 60. Well, then I ended up buying a side screen at 75 hertz, and I wanted to test some, you know, games on that. So I did, and then I'm sitting there looking back at my 60. I'm like, oh, 60's awful. 70's where it's at. And then eventually get a 120, and it was you know, it was tough to have anything under 90. Because anything, honestly, for me, anything 90 or above, I really can't tell the difference, personally. So that's why I typically, well, I was capping, with my old monitor, I was capping my FPS at 90 across the board. Because I couldn't really, like I said, I couldn't really tell much of a difference between 90 and 100 or 120. Now I'm sure you go from 120 to 240, I'm sure there's a hell of a difference there. But I personally didn't see it. I have game bar disabled. I have it disabled because of what reason? I don't remember. I don't use it, so I disabled it. Although with game bar, you can record gameplay with game bar, can't you? So why am I using the NVIDIA app? I also think I figured that problem out. Remember I told you before, if I had the NVIDIA app and OBS running, that I would get like weird hesitation stutters in the sim. And I don't know if you can tell on the screen here, but it's not there, that's gone. Hopefully you're not sick and vomiting now. I don't know what fixed it, honestly, because I've been trying to figure out this OLED. Because I thought there maybe was an issue with it, and I might have had to return it, because it had to be done by tomorrow. And so I uninstalled, reinstalled, uninstalled, reinstalled, and then like I've been dealing with some audio cracking with my headset. I've been trying to figure out, well, is that a driver issue? Because apparently there's some audio issues with that too. I've been rolling back. So now I'm on an older version of the drivers. I'm back in, I don't know, first week of February or second week of February, whatever that driver is. I'm back on that one. And whatever reason, removing, uninstalling, and reinstalling the NVIDIA app has seemed to fix that issue. So don't have that anymore.
Wiggins 8401.
I got the 5070 Ti for 830, but I also was in need of graphics card before I got this. Was running a 20. Yeah, my wife runs a 2070.
Altimeter 2944. Wiggins 8401.
I think honestly with her, the thing is she's running a 9700K, I think it is. Maybe it's even 9600. I don't remember exactly now, but I know like the 2070 is kind of getting up there. It's getting up there for sure in age. And she can run most things fine, but I think she's right now is processor capped more than anything. So it's with her system, it's so difficult to figure out what to do because she's not like a hardcore gamer. You know, she plays. She played a little bit of Avowed recently. Inquisition when not Inquisition. Well, she plays Inquisition, but whatever the last Velguard, the Dragon Age game. And what's the other game she's been playing? Enshrouded. So she doesn't really play anything like super high intense, and she doesn't need a major FPS. So if I have a hard time deciding like what's the best path to take for an upgrade route for her, because yeah, sure, we can drop in $500-600, and like Fry, she has an Alienware system. So if I were to change her to a modern processor, I have to get a new board. And so right now the max I can give her in that case is a 9900 processor. And I'm sure I can find it on eBay. Well, I think I looked before on eBay and it was pretty expensive. For that old, the 9900K is a great processor. Let me see. eBay, yeah, eBay's selling like 260, 250. This person's selling a combo CP. What the hell? Oh, that's forbidding it. Never mind. Okay. I'm not quite sure what to do with her system. Like, she's content, and I was like set hardcore on and updating her over the next couple of months. But I ran some performance benchmarks on it. I ran some temperature checks, and her temps are good. Like, they're really, really good. A few months back, actually it's been like 5 months now, 6 months maybe. What's going on, Captain? I changed out the thermal paste on her graphic card, and the temperatures dropped like 10 degrees. And the fans aren't ramping up anymore. And that's the 2070. And I bought that 2070 whenever it came out, I guess, I don't know, 6 years or 7 years ago? Probably 7 years ago. No, that can't be right. When did 2070 come out? Yeah, 6.5 years ago. Jeez. Okay. I have owned every version, every series of the NVIDIA cards now since the 900 series. The 900 series, I had a 1060, and I had a 2070. We also owned a 1660. I had bought that for my wife, which we then gave to someone else. And then the 3070, and now the 4080. And the one that I'm probably skipping is the 50 series. I'll wait for the 60 series when the cards are like $6,000. Now you may be hearing less traffic with Beyond ATC in the air. I did change the en route slider down to 4. I changed it to 4. One is because I didn't need all that chatter in the sky. But 2, it also apparently helps a little bit with performance right now. And as you can see, we still have 67 planes around us, so that's a lot. You know, we probably would have, I don't know, 80 to 90 if it's up to 5. And we're also in a pretty populated area. We will be this entire flight, you know, because we're coming up into Washington there. So this is Beyond ATC traffic map. If you don't know about it, you can get it on their website, beyondatc.net, and then click on the download button, and then there's the traffic map. You had the 9060, the 80, the 1070, the 2070, and then the 50. Oh, so you skipped the 30 and the 40. Oh yeah, duh, because you told me you had the... you went from the 2070 to... That's a heck of a jump, though. 2070 to 5070. That's a heck of a jump. Like I said, I've been like chasing the FPS. It's been flight sim, man. It's always been flight sim. I think I told this story before, but gosh, when was it? Back in 2016, I think it was. So I got out of really PC stuff for like 6 years. I had a PC and I had a laptop, but I didn't really game on there. I played Diablo. That was about the only game I played on PC until it came to the console. But that includes also getting. I didn't fly. I didn't use any flight sims. Once 2002 came out, somewhere around there, I ended flight simming for a while. Jumped into X-Plane every once in a while to check it out, but I just never liked flight sim. I mean, not flight sim. I never liked X-Plane a whole lot. And then around 2017, I got this itch again about flight sim. So I started doing more flights, and it was very basic setup. I had a cheap joystick, no rudder pedals, nothing like that. I was gaming on a laptop, I think. And then the announcement of 2020 came out, and that changed everything. That changed everything. Seemed like when I flew with Beyond ATC, every time it was an ILS approach, I got a visual approach instead of an ILS. Yes. So the reason for that is because this is true. This is if you go in like the Reddit Aviation forum, someone asked this question in there about Beyond ATC. It's crazy. They asked Beyond ATC question in the Aviation forum, and pilots responded, and they said because that's real life. If the weather is good enough for visual, then ATC will likely give you the visual. So apparently that's how it seems to work in the US. Overseas, different story. It's almost always RNAV ILS. But in the US, we give a lot of visuals apparently. And it explains why the little bit that I flew like overseas in flight sim with Beyond ATC, it is wild to think how direct the flight paths are in other countries. You depart via the SID, you arrive via the STAR and whatever approach. It's all connected. There is a dotted line to follow the entire path, where in the US they vector you so much. Whereas it seems like a lot of times, or almost all the times overseas, you're following that approach to a T. You're following the departure to a T every single airport. The bigger ones, of course. And it's wild how much laxed we are here in the U.S. And I don't know if it's because of I don't know if it's because of if we have more traffic, more domestic traffic, if that's why. So we have open to opportunities.
Southwest 147.
I don't think so, Fry. I think you have to get whatever they give you. I don't think so. But like I fly the ILS, because you typically will intercept the ILS, localizer, which will be on the ILS. So I typically will fly the ILS. I just posted a video this morning. Well, I posted it yesterday, but it came up this morning. The hotter, I think it's titled "Perfecting Your Landings." And in there, I talk about how I will always program if there's an ILS or an RNAV. Well, RNAV automatically, but if there's an ILS, I always program it. I almost always program it, unless I'm flying like a GA plane. But in any airliner, I will always program the ILS, even if I get the visual. And I will follow the ILS for the approach.
Boston Center, Air Shuttle 6011. Good day. Flight level 2.
And pilots say they do the same thing, because have backups.
6011, Boston Center.
They give you the visual, you at least have your ILS for backups. And even like you think about, flying the ILS. Obviously, it's a little bit more tougher in aviation, but so they tell you to fly the ILS. You obviously will fly the ILS for the arrival, but you're also partly going visual if you can. If the weather's there, your backup is visual.
Flight level 340.
So it's no different than flying visual. Your ILS is your backup.
Spirit 1157, Boston Center.
All right, so we are about halfway there, I think. What's our estimated arrival time? 16:16.
Center on 132.3, American
We're
464.
15:28 right now. Yeah, so 45 minutes.
Boston Center,
We'll be on the ground.
464, flight level 380.
So I'm trying to figure out something, because I think I did it on the live stream last time, but if you ask what the expected arrival is, now, I don't know if it's because it changes, though. Maybe it's the wind that changes. Like right now, runway 1 in DCA is a 13 and 7 knot wind. Like, that's pretty substantial. And 19 is 13 and 7, so it's like they're both the same. 19's not used currently. Let's look at digital ATIS.
Contact New York Center 121.125.
So this is a website. You can go to datis.cloud.io, and if we go to DCA. So right now DCA is saying winds are 260, so they're coming out of the west at 15 knots, gusting up to 20. And remarks, we have nothing major there. Arrivals expecting the 1, which is what we're expecting. Landing runways 1 and 33, departing 1, 3, and 4. Multiple approaches in effect.
Boston Center 128.1, American 1467.
Bird activity, read back altitude departures, read back all runway assignments, hold short instructions, do not enter airspace in Quebec there. So we're expecting either 1 or 33. As of right now, we're expecting runway 1.
American 464, contact New York Center 21125.
As of right now, we're expecting runway 1.
Contact New York Center 21125, American 464, have a good day.
And we'll see what happens.
New York Center, American 464, flight level 380.
American 464, New York Center, roger. Endeavor 5106, contact Boston Center 134.3.
Alright, we're gonna go ahead.
Center on 134.3.
I'll put it in the
06.
I'll put it in the chat. So that's the website. New York Center, American 464. What's our expected arrival runway and approach into DCA today?
American 464, expect arrival runway 19er at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. Approach information is unavailable.
Alright, so we're expecting runway 19er via New York Center. We'll see what happens. It's always interesting. I've also found with this last update to Beyond ATC, it doesn't seem to be giving me the expected as frequent. Like sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, and I haven't figured out why. It's always interesting for sure. So we'll look at, we have a couple minutes here. We'll look at my schedule for a pilot's life. I do recommend, if you've never used a pilot's life, this is a really cool add-on. It's from Simbit World. You can get it from their website. I think it's like $30 or $35 one-time purchase. No subscription needed, nothing like that. Oh, I forgot it has the METAR information here too. But anyways, so we can look at my schedule for the week. Well, what I have currently on the dock. So we're flying this one now, Boston, DCA. The next one I have is a really long one for me. This is long, 561, O'Hare to Raleigh. It's a pretty long flight. And then we have going into Charlotte, going to Albany, going into Dallas, and then we have Cuba going into Miami. This will be fun. Yeah, this is a super long one. I think I'm going to take, I know American doesn't fly. I know American does not fly the 350. But I think I might fly the 350. Someone made a livery for American up on flightsim.to. So I think I might fly the 350 into Raleigh. And I might skip this one here. I might skip the Albany one. I'll maybe do this one. We'll see. I have all the licenses I want, I think, for the most part, with Beyond ATC, or not Beyond ATC, with a pilot's life. Almost 99, wow. So right now I'm more focusing just on getting my flight hours up again. I have 7,000 in the account, so let's look at the shop real quick. I should be putting money into this stuff to make it, but it's such a small amount. Top of the sentence, not for a little bit, so we'll get to that. Okay, so I have, so you're gonna see, I have the 220, so whenever the 220 ever comes out, the flight sim, we'll have that one. Obviously, have the 210, have the 320, 350, 737, 757, 767, and honestly, the reasons I got that is because of it opens up more flights. ATR, CRJ, GHC, Embraer, the Cessna, the MD-80, and then I have others. So really, I can't, if the RJ ever comes, well, I guess the RJ is out. So if I ever decide to fly the RJ, I'm not really interested in DC. I guess the MD-11 if I decided to go that route. And get the MD-80, or sorry, MD-11 at some point. But I don't think I'm gonna get the 330 or 340 license anytime. Guess I can get the 777. That's only 4,000. I have plenty of that. I could get it right now. So honestly, like, I think probably just gonna spend most of the money on skips. Realistically, I'll probably just spend them on skips.
New York Center, American 464, flight level 380.
I try not to skip too many with APL because that's part of the, realistic aspects of it. So like there's two really big main career modes. Well, technically three if you want to count Neo Sky. Or was it Neo Fly? Neo Fly. I don't know why I say Sky all the time. Neo Fly. So there's On Air, there's APL, and then Neo Fly. And they're all good in different aspects. APL is better with airliners, I feel. On Air is best for GA. And the same with Neofly is best for GA. Now, one thing that's unique about On Air is a subscription, but it is relatively inexpensive. For like $30 you can have the whole year. So it's not much of anything. And it's well worth it. I put several 100 hours into on Air last year, I think it was. I had a blast. I did 6 months subscription, and then Flight Sim 2024 came out, and I was like, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it because of career mode. And I found out career mode in Flight Sim 2024 is, well, it's neat. It doesn't feel what I need, which I'm more of an airliner person for sure. And then, I don't know who it was, someone was telling me to get back into APL. So I was like, I should. So with APL, for those who don't know it, so the big thing about APL is you fly for an airline. A real world airline. And you have to apply to it, just like you would in real life. And they have a percentage scale based on your experience, your flight hours, your status, all that jazz, of the probability of you being accepted into that airline. For example, since I have 700 hours and my rating is like 999 almost right now, that if I applied for, let's say, like SkyWest, one of the small regional, well, SkyWest is big, but it's a regional airline. They don't pay as much. Oh, wow. They have a traffic reroute for us. Alright, see what's going on.
American 464, expect deal tree, runway 19er.
Okay. Expect deal 3, runway 19er, American 464. Alright, there we go. That solves that problem. We're doing runway 19er. So let's go ahead and get our approach information. It's going to be a visual, right? The river visual. Alright, so let's reprogram our computers here. We got to enter in our destination information. Destination information. We're going to do runway. We're going to do the Yankee in our system here, so we at least have it. Again, we always have a backup. DL3, we'll keep that all in there. Now we're going to enter in our destination. So, 2993. Temperature is 7. Winds are 250 at 15. And the minimums on the visual are what? Oh, I gotta put the visual,
New York Center, JetBlue 1167. Good day. 12,500.
JetBlue
780.
1167, New York Center.
Okie dokie. Alright, so we're gonna go 19. We'll see what happens.
American 464, contact Washington Center 124.77.
I used to use FS Economy.
Contact Washington Center.
I've heard of FS Economy, I never used it.
American
I was
464.
in a,
Washington
what's it
Center,
called?
American
A
464,
virtual airline
level
for a while, the
310.
United, when 2020 first came out. I was doing the United virtual airline. The issue I had with that is you always had to fly United, and you were stuck with United.
464, descend via Deal Tree arrival.
Alright, we got a descent already.
Washington National Airport landing, runway 19er, altimeter 2.
And, you know, people could say the same about APL, but with APL, you just sign a week contract, pretty much. I think it's a week. So I got accepted into American on Tuesday, I think it is. So on Wednesday next week, I can apply for any other airline. So, like, I can jump wherever I want. Every other week, I can do such things. So I'm not just stuck with the one airline. The virtual is nice because there is more of that community involved. But there's a community of sorts with APL as well. So if we go into the community button here, you can see other pilots. You know, so you can see the wealth, you know, who has the most, and XP people on there as well. You have friends, and then events. So there's a little bit of a community, and then if you click on the current flight map, it will show you all the people who are currently flying. So there are 489 people flying with APL right now. So that's pretty cool. So is there anyone around us? So we are here, right? That's us. Yep, there's us. So there's a pilot here. British Airways. There's a guy up here. Got a long flight. We got a Boston to New Orleans, and then we got a Phoenix. So that's really cool. Where are we? So we are, where's my XP? I'm curious now. Oh, we gotta start a descent. Top of descent. Our RXP is, where's our total? Here's our total. Okay, 50, what is that? 53,000? Alright, 53,000.
Continue climb to flight level 240. Spirit 993.
Oh, we're like not even close to the top. We're somewhere here in the top 300. Yeah, there we are. We're 320. Hey, we're 320. We're an Airbus A320. We're about to be a 319. So we're top 300. That's not too bad. I'll take top 300, especially not using it for like a year. That's not bad. What is the best software in your opinion, like APL? See, that's where it gets tough, Fry, because like On Air has a lot going for it. Because On Air, you can make your own company. You can build it from the ground up. You can buy aircrafts. So it's more of a making a airline career, whereas APL is more of a pilot career. You know, a pilot's life. It's in the name, right? So I think that's where the differences are. You know, if you want to start an airline, if you want to start an airline or cargo career, that's where On Air thrives, I think, best. It is a grind. It is a heck of a grind, though. It takes forever to get anywhere in there. You have to do a lot of flights. No different than the built-in career mode, where it takes a lot of time to make a lot of money to afford an aircraft. But there is a feature in On Air that allows you to do airline flights, and that's honestly what I did most of my stuff in. So you have to pick. You can do one by one, but you can do like 1, 5, or 10 schedules with an airline, and it will pull them, and then you fly them, and then you get XP and you get money for it. And I did that a lot. I did a lot of JetBlues. I did a lot of JetBlue and I think United flights with that. But eventually it got stale. Because I don't think it has the number of routes that APL has. Because it's kind of like an extra kind of thing, I feel. So I don't think they put a whole lot of time into it.
November 940 Mike Victor, thanks.
No, in APL you do not have to start in GA. Nope. So when you first log into APL for the very first time, it will give you a job market.
November 940 Mike Victor, have a good day.
Oh, I can't see it here. It will give you job offers. It will give you 5 of them, and you have to pick out of those 5. And so, like for me, it was Air what is it? Air Intuit or something. It was some Canadian airline that I picked to start off with. And well, I picked that because it had shorter hops, and I figured that'd be great for me. And then after doing like
Contact
5 or
Washington
10
Center
flights with that
125
airline,
American 464.
I was able to get an accepting offer from
American
Sun
464.
Country.
Good day.
And then I spent some time in Sun Country. Actually, I can look.
323.
So if we look at flight logs,
American 464 Washington Center. Descend, maintain 10,000 feet. Altimeter.
all right, let's go all the way down. Yeah, Air Intuit. So here is the first airline I did. So I did these 5 flights with this airline. They're all fairly short, I think. And then I did Sun Country for a very long time. I guess not that long. The Sun Country for about a month, 3 weeks, and then I spent a lot of time with SkyWest. I think I did most of my flights in. You can actually, I don't remember how to do it now, but you can do like a pie chart. Oh, here it reports. Entire career. I don't want to. I'd hit that button. I don't want to potentially break it, so. I'm going to be cautious with it. But you can bring up a pie chart and you can see all the airlines you were with and whatever. But I spent most of mine definitely SkyWest, because SkyWest is more regional based. So yeah, so I did Sun Country, then I jumped over to SkyWest and did a few flights of SkyWest. Went over to Ryanair for a while. Went over to Delta, Air New Zealand, Southwest, Alaska. Went down to South America. Jumped into United for a while, went up to Europe, back to New Zealand, back to American, back to SkyWest for a long time, and then American, back to SkyWest for a while, then went to Envoy, and went back to SkyWest, did some Logan Air, did some Mountain Air Cargo, UPS, FedEx for a while. Geez, FedEx for a long while. When did I start? Okay, so I started FedEx on January 18th. This is last year. All the way to March. So I did, what, 2 months worth of FedExing. And then I did Delta for a while. Back to SkyWest for a very long. Jeez, look at that. So April 7th. I just did a lot of flights. Oh, that's a long time though. April to June in SkyWest. Good lord. And then American for a week, and then JetBlue, and then here we are nowadays. Okay, we're gonna roll the dice and hope it doesn't crash. Where was it at? Reports. Generate it.
American 464.
Here we go. So here's our financials, and then here's our expenses, and here's income.
American 464. Take care.
Oh, where's the? Oh no, here we go. Flight hour, flight reports. I think it's this one I want.
Descending via Dealtree, flight level 279er.
American 464 Washington Center.
All right, here we go. Yeah, so this one is gotta be SkyWest. I'm not sure why it's not showing up on here, but that's gotta be SkyWest. 256 flights. I would put money that is SkyWest. And the number 2 is FedEx. Number 3, American. Number 4, Air New Zealand, looks like. Wow. Yeah, so 256 for SkyWest. And then aircraft 224 is it the 737? Really? Wow. That's wild. I suppose that makes sense because I got this when the PMDG came out, and then I got into the Phoenix with On Air. So I haven't really used On Air much with the Phoenix. Career flights, and then purchase flights, and then which sim. So only 12 here in 2024. That's wild. Yeah, I forgot about that. So I was a late adopter to the Phoenix for sure. I got the Phoenix last spring, I think it's when I jumped into the Phoenix. Do you ever use player character? What's that? Player character? You don't like the avatar in 2024? Is that what you're talking about, Fry? Alright, we should be on the ground here, well, in about, what, 20?
Center on 132.05, American 464, take care. Washington Center, American 464, descending via
Yeah, use the avatar. Not really.
248.
I thought I might use it more, but I don't. Like, once in a while I walk around, but not really. I understand, like, where the plus come. If you, like, have a community of people, you know, and you're doing group flights, you know, GA flights, whatever, yeah, you know. I think what would be cool is if they added, I think, okay, here's where I feel I would probably use it more. And that is if I could, if you could use the avatar in the aircraft itself. So if right now, if I could get, not right now I guess, but like when you land, after you land, if you could exit whatever first person mode, go into your avatar, or even go stay, well, yeah, go into your avatar, and then walk out of the plane through the gate into the terminal. The problem with that is every terminal would have to be modeled. But even if you could walk through the gate and then, you know, hit a button and then you exit the sim, that'd be cool, you know. So if you can open the cockpit door, then open the plane door, walk through the terminal, and at the end of the terminal, when you are leaving, you exit, you know, you tap on the screen and that would exit the sim. You completed your flight. And then when you load into the sim, depending on your aircraft, let's say it's an airliner, you would spawn at the terminal door, at the gate door. And then you'd walk down the terminal into the aircraft and then start your cold and dark. That'd be kind of cool. I feel like the avatar is more for like GA stuff, which I eventually need to get back into. The Kodiak got an update recently, and I need to get into that and supply that Kodiak. I thought for sure with 2024 I'd get back into GA stuff, but I don't know, I just have so much fun flying airliners. It's kind of always been that way. There was that moment where I did jump over to GA stuff for a year and a half. But I think the issue was at the time was the only planes we had was we had the fly-by-wire A320 and then of course the default A320, which wasn't great but wasn't as bad as the 737 MAX when it launched. It's better now. It's better now. Still has some issues, but it's better now. You have to be a real pilot in GA, yeah. This is true. This is very true. You actually have to do more work. You know, in airliners, it's autopilot doing most of the work for you. I've been talking about doing a around the world again, another around the world tour. I need to actually do it. The problem is when I start thinking about maybe I'll do it, a new plane's announced. And then I hold off because I'm like, well, I know as soon as that plane comes out that I'll be ending that around the world or pausing it and then eventually maybe going back to it. It's like I started Amelia Earhart's flight, kind of recreating her flight the best I could with the airports available nowadays. And I got halfway through and I stopped. So like now I'm waiting for iFly to come out, and then of course the PMGG 777 will come out, and then we might get that 320 at some, or not 320, the 220 at some point from who's making it? Synaptics or something like that. And then I think what will get me over to GA is when Beyond ATC opens up the door for VFR. That might be what gets me over to GA. Because you can obviously do some GA still with Beyond ATC. You know, obviously you're flying a flight path and not VFR. But I think when Beyond ATC opens up the door for that with their LOM, which I feel is step one, that will definitely be the winner. That could get me over. Then I can fly the 402 or 408 that I've been talking about flying so long. And I flew like 10 times so far. Awesome, like the Otter's been improved. The Otter's so much fun to fly, and I don't fly that as much as I should. Now that we have it officially in 2024. I thought I'd fly that more, and I don't. Alright, we're passing flight level 180, setting down to 10,000 for the likely visual into DCA. The weather is all clear, VFR conditions. Broken clouds at 24,000, 10 visibility, so yeah, beautiful weather in DCA. Yeah, I know. I've been wondering that for a very long time. How many people use Beyond ATC compared to the other people? I would challenge this. The other people right now have 225. Skynet 65 people. I think it's schedules now? What the hell does that mean? I would bet there are more people using FS HUD than using the other people. And I would bet there's probably 3 times, 4 times more people using Beyond ATC than FS HUD. At any given time, of course. So if you put that in perspective, there could be maybe 800 people using Beyond ATC right now. Again, this is all estimate.
American 1656 Washington Center. Expect Proud
But even
2,
just look
runway
at
31.
the subscription-based stuff
Expect Proud 2, runway 3,
on YouTube.
American 1656.
You know, Beyond ATC has, what, last I saw, like 16,000 or no, 13,000. They have 13,000 subscribers compared to 4,000 for the other people.
Contact Washington Center 132.55, American 464.
And their videos get substantially more views.
Good day, Washington Center, American 464. Descending
Also look at the
via
Discord. I think the Discord has
1,700
crap load
feet.
more people than the other people. I don't know what the other people have, but Beyond ATC, how do you see that? Beyondatc has like 806 supporters,
Washington Center, American 2838.
and
flight
I'm not
level
sure how to see.
340.
American 2838, Washington Center. Good
A lot of
day.
people. Jeez.
JetBlue 5J Bravo. Contact Washington Center 123.85. Have a good day. Contact Washington Center 123.85. JetBlue 5J Bravo.
I know there's different roles, so I don't know exactly how to figure it out. I'm not Discord smart. But I thought that was an easy way to like see the number of people in the chat.
Washington Center, Spirit 993. Good day. 17,500
Guess not.
feet. Spirit 993, Washington Center.
Anywho. Yeah, I'm sure it's substantially more. No, they don't have a tracker. That would be cool though. That would be really, really cool. I don't think they have a tracker, at least.
Good day, Washington Center, Brickyard 4414, descending.
I don't see anything on their website, so yeah, I don't think they do.
Brickyard 4414, Washington Center, roger.
The map would be lit, though. If they did, the map would be lit. Alright, coming up to 1,000. Landing lights are going to come on shortly. Now, I did the river visual approach recently with Beyondatc, and it kind of gave me a weird vector. So we'll kind of see what happens on this one. It was kind of giving me like a straight approach and not following the river. It was very odd. It was a very odd approach for sure. So hoping for better this time around. And you know, so they just had their big, they call it minor, but it was a pretty big major update we talked about on Monday, I think it was. With the approaches, well, just with the vectors, I should say.
American 464.
And so they might have goofed up some things with ECA.
124.55. Have a good flight.
Contact Potomac approach, American
Oh,
464.
atomic approach.
Potomac approach,
Oh,
American
atomic approach.
464.
I still need to know what the correct way is. I need to listen to like live ATC.
American 464, Potomac approach.
Potomac approach.
Expect the visual approach runway 19er.
Alright, we're expecting the visual. Right, we got the visual.
901, expect the visual approach, runway 19er,
Alright,
American
I'm gonna see if I can get
464.
any DCA live traffic going now and see if we can hear it.
Potomac approach. Brickyard 4626. 1,200 feet. We have Romeo on board.
DCA tower.
Brickyard 4626, Potomac approach, altimeter 29er, expect the visual approach, runway 19er.
Alright, see if we can pick up any audio.
29er, expect the visual approach.
Alright, landing lights are on, that's checked.
Brickyard 4626.
Ideally, we want to be at 10,000, so that's good.
045, expect radar vectors for visual approach, runway 19er.
Pack heading 045. Expect radar vectors for visual approach.
Departure radar contact, monitor service 507, climb maintain 150.
Delta 380, turn right, heading 025, vectors for the approach.
Wing 20, contact Washington Center 121.67.
380.
It's so low I couldn't hear him. Oh, what's that?
Wing 20's off. Contact Washington Center 121.67.
Altimeter 29er, 9er, 1.
Over to Washington 2167, have a good day. Thanks for your help. Pat 109, contact approach on 132.85. Request your approach there.
59.
Okay, 132.85 for Pat 109. Have a good day.
If you use traffic injection with Beyond ETC, there's a map you can download from there. That's just, yeah, that's AI traffic. I think Friday's asking for like other people.
Clear 540 Papa Alpha, Potomac departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 12000. 12000, 0 Papa Alpha.
Potomac approach.
Radar 0 Papa Alpha, maintain speed 230 or less. 230 or less, 0 Papa Alpha. Associate 5605, 1.6, climbing 5,000, quarter 4.
Yard 4442.
5605, Potomac departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 17,000, moderate turbulence 5 to 7.
Yeah, I think it's
17,000 and check.
Expect the visual approach runway 19er. Brickyard 4414.
I think it's right. I think Beyond ETC is doing it right. I heard him say it briefly there, but he sounded like he was saying Potomac departure. Like, it almost sounded exactly like what they do here. We gotta get more calls. Maybe I'll switch over the tower. Oh, I closed out traffic. Or live ATC. Alright, let's try tower, and because tower would hand off.
33 on Sierra, ground point 7 on the other side.
Sierra, cross 33 at Sierra, and ground point 7 on the other side.
Brickyard 4639, the wind's 28010, gust 19er, runway 1, clear for takeoff, traffic 3M.
Runway 1, Brickyard 40.
Lindbergh 4435. Airport is at your 12 o'clock 23 miles. Report the field in sight.
Now we got all this ATC talking. Gonna get really confused.
Lindbergh 4435.
Lindbergh 4435. Cleared visual approach runway 19er.
Cleared visual approach 19er. Lindbergh 4435.
Alright, we're waiting for that.
Runway 4158, visual 1.
Runway 4158, Rock Tower, the wind 28010, gust 19er, runway 1, clear to land, traffic closing the path.
Okay, 1, clear land, runway 4158.
Heading 115. Descend and maintain 2000. Delta 380.
Let's add in the visual. Okay, and then we're gonna go DCA, go to start, and we are on.
Delta 380. Airport is at your 2 o'clock.
There we are. So here we are coming on in, and then going in for the visual.
We have the field. Delta 380.
Here 4639, contact some departure.
380.
4639, so.
Runway 19er.
Hey.
Cleared
Cat's
visual
being a
approach
butthole
19er,
right now.
Delta 380.
District 5048, tower, runway 1, line up away, traffic to 7.
Come on, say it. That other controller did sound like for a second he said Potomac apart.
Southwest 955, 33's available for the turnoff. And out of Providence, Sierra, Southwest 955, left Sierra, left Juliet, cross runway 33 on Juliet, ground point 7 on the other side.
Left Sierra, left Juliet, put across 33, ground the other side of Southwest 955.
Delta 380. Contact Washington Tower 119er.1. Take care.
Over to Tower 115.
Blue Street 5048, the wind 300 at 8, gust 17, runway 1, clear for takeoff.
Just 17?
Blue Street 5336. Turn left. Heading 015.
Turn left.
United 1457, tower, traffic 6 out, runway 1, line up wing.
Line up wing, runway 1,
They're not going to say it, are they?
Lindbergh 4435. Contact Washington Tower 119er.1.
Contact Tower 119er.1. Lindbergh 4435.
Alright, APL, the cool thing about APL is it also tells you your estimated arrival. Right now we're at 1625, so about 14 minutes. flying over Baltimore.
Blue Streak 5336.
Not Baltimore. Yeah, is that Baltimore? What's it called?
5048 contact on departure. Good day.
Departure Blue Streak 5048.
No, didn't say it there either. Thought maybe we were about to get it.
Yeah, 1457 1300.
No, not Baltimore,
17 runway 1, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff.
What the heck's it called?
Okay.
No, that's Andrew's base. That's in front of us. I get myself all confused. I was thinking of Dulles. But that was Andrew's base. That's in front of us.
Blue Streak 5336, turn right, heading 115.
All right, we are 10,000.
Blue Streak
We have to maintain that up to Thane, and then we should be able to drop down to 6,000. We're expecting the visual after that.
Blue Streak 5336, descend and
So at
maintain
Thames, we can go
4,000.
down to 6,000, I believe.
Descend and maintain 4000. Blue Streak 5336.
Yeah, 1457 contact over departure.
Departure 57. Good day.
I don't think they're saying it. I heard there for a second. I heard him say, sound like he said Potomac still. Beyond ACC will say Potomac departure, Potomac. Yeah, I remember you telling me that, Bri. I saw a building on the entrance to the runway. Hey, welcome in, Jim. Welcome on in. Perfect timing. We're on our approach into DCA. There's Andrew. And here's the nation's capital stuff.
5336, turn right, heading 175.
The Pentagon is somewhere over here. Here's the Pentagon.
Turn right, heading 175. Blue Streak 5336.
We're too high to see it right now. Are we allowed to drop down to 6,000? I think we are. We're expected the visual, so let's go down to 6,000. And let's go VS. We'll drop down at 15. Let's kick in our approach mode.
Blue Streak 5336, airport is at your 12 o'clock, 15 miles. Report the field in sight.
Because on the approach, we are limited to 210, I believe.
Blue
19.
Streak 5336.
3,000 there.
Approach runway 19er.
Maybe it's on the visual. I mean the Yankee.
Blue Streak 5336.
Brickyard 4414. Leave Samo heading 350. Expect radar.
All right,
vectors
so at
for visual
Megs, we
approach,
should get the
runway
vector
19er.
over to Derek.
Leave Samo heading 350. Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 19er. Brickyard 4414.
There, we're starting to come in.
Southwest 3859. Turn left. Heading 080. Vectors for the approach.
I do want to visit DC at some point in my life.
3859.
I want to go to the monuments. It'd be kind of cool.
Blue Streak 5336.
All right, here's our expected runway right here, runway 19. So the plan is we're going to follow this river
Blue Streak 5336.
all the way into the runway there. And then exit to the right.
Southwest 3859. Turn left. Heading 010. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Altimeter 29901.
Does the update start automatically, or do I have to trigger it? It should be automatically. I'm on the Steam version, and Steam automatically does it. I'm sure the Windows Store does it too if you have that one.
American 464. Leave Megs heading 350. Expect radar vectors for visual approach. Runway 19er.
All right, Megs 350.
Leave Megs heading 350. Expect radar vectors for visual approach. Runway 19er, American 464.
Brickyard 4414. Fly present heading. Descend and maintain 4,000. Altimeter 29901. Vectors for the approach. Expect further clearance in about 21 miles.
Fly present heading.
Alright, we're almost at 6,000. Speed's gonna come down momentarily. We're going 350, but then we should be swinging over to the left.
American 464, turn right, heading 335, vectors for the approach.
335.
Turn right, heading 335, American 464.
Alright, speed's coming down now. Spoilers are armed. And we should get vectored to the left here momentarily.
American 464, turn right, heading 345.
345.
Turn right, heading 345, American 464.
And then we're gonna go over here. We have already popped up 3,000 on the approach there. We should get descent further momentarily as well. I think that's giving us enough move to make the turn, the curve in.
Brickyard 4626, lead maze heading 085.
Or maybe it's vectoring us for traffic.
Visual approach runway 19er.
There's a plane that is like right in front of us. 200 feet below us. 300, so they're descending. They're right here on the TCAS.
Brickyard 4626, turn right, heading 085, descend and maintain 6,000, altimeter.
They're like somewhere in this vicinity. I can't find them.
Turn right, heading 085, descend and maintain 6,000, altimeter 29901, Brickyard 46.
Was in DC last May. Nice city. Yeah, oh, narrow and clean. I really want to go see it. It'd be really cool. Not too far away. Oh, there's a couple planes up in the sky here.
175, southwest 3859.
Kind of look like UFOs.
Potomac approach, good day. Altimeter 29901, expect the visual approach, runway 19er.
Oh, they're vectoring us out pretty far.
Altimeter 29901, expect a visual approach, runway 19er, American 2522.
American 464, turn right, heading 125, descend and maintain 4,000, altimeter
125
29901.
and 4,000.
Turn right, heading 125. Descend and maintain 4,000. Altimeter 29901, American 464.
Southwest 3859, airport is at your 12 o'clock.
All right, here's our vector.
Report the field in sight.
Field in sight, southwest 3859.
Southwest 3859, cleared visual approach runway 19er.
Cleared visual.
All right, folks, hold on to your butts.
Southwest 3859.
So at Derek, we want to be recommended at 3,000. This little stretch here is pretty short. There's not a whole lot going on. I think it's less than 10 nautical miles. So you want to start preparing around that time. See, it's doing the same thing I did the other day, I think. It's lining me up for the vector. For the straight in, I think. Or is it bringing us back over here? And I think it had us do a 180.
2522, descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Pretty much. So it might direct us back over here, but it might be having us set it for a straight in. It may not having us. Yeah, it may not be doing the river visual. Charleston? No, I haven't been there either. That'd be kind of cool. Alright, so let's see what happens. In theory, it should be vectoring us over here to Derek. But I think it's setting us up for a straight in arrival, so I think this is a bug with the last, vector. So I'll have to check in their Discord to see if it doesn't do Derek. Next time, try extended runway center line, a feature of Airbus. Oh yeah. Use on vectors. How do you do that? Next time, try extended runway center line. How do you do that? I always forget about that feature.
Blue Streak 5413, airport is at your 1 o'clock 12 miles. Report the field in sight.
We have the field, Blue Streak 5413.
Blue Streak 5413, cleared visual approach runway 19er.
Can I just do visual?
Cleared visual approach 19er, Blue Streak 5413.
That's probably gonna break it now. Right there, right? There's the visual at least.
464. Airport is at your 2 o'clock 14 miles.
Direct to
Report the field
page,
in sight.
hard to explain in chat, I gotcha. Airport in sight, Delta, sorry, American 464.
American 464, cleared visual approach runway 19er.
Alright, clear for the visual, so we're gonna go
Clear
direct
visual approach
to...
19er, American
Uh-oh,
464.
I broke it. Alright, yeah, it's not doing the river visual anymore, so let's go AP off.
Report the field in sight.
My aircraft.
We have the field. Brickyard 4626.
So I'm gonna report this
Brickyard
to the
4626,
Beyondatc
cleared visual approach,
Discord,
runway 19er.
because this is definitely not what they're supposed to be doing. This is coming right over the White House and monuments and stuff.
Blue Streak 5413, contact Washington Tower 119.1. Have a good day.
Contact Tower 119.1, Blue Streak 5413.
Alright, let's bring down that nose a little bit. I don't have any visual cues at this point, so
American 464, contact Washington Tower
we're gonna hope for the best.
119.1.
Let's go flaps down one notch. Let's clear out our air message.
119.1, American 464.
Alright,
Washington
runway
Tower, American
is
464,
where the
visual
heck's that runway?
19er.
Right there.
American 464, Washington Tower, continue.
So we're gonna kind of do a partial
Wilco, American
visual here.
464.
Washington Tower. Brickyard 4626.
We're really high, I feel. I'm gonna bring out some speed brakes. We're gonna get the noise here in a second.
Washington Tower, continue.
This approach went to hell really fast.
Wilco. Brickyard 4626.
Alright, I think we're feeling a little bit better there. Alright, we get a heck of a wind right now. 20 knots. Spoilers are armed, speed brakes are stowed. Spoilers are armed. There we go. Alright, I see Pappies. Good. And is that 3 white? Yeah, I think that's 3 white. Flaps 3.
American 464, wind 270.
Alright, there we are. 2 and 2.
Gust 19er, runway 19er, cleared to land.
Forgot to put on the webcam.
Runway 19er cleared to land, American 464.
Alright, there we go. And flaps are coming full. Alright, wind's still pretty strong there at 16. So we're going to kind of crab in just a little bit. Not overly aggressive, though. A little low on the approach. Winds are kind of stable now. I'm looking at that touchdown zone right now. It's my main focus point.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard,
Holding it.
retard,
Back on the throttle.
retard, retard, retard,
And smooth touchdown.
retard.
Pretty close to center line. I got pushed off a little bit there. Reversers are coming out. Flaps coming up. Get a little brakes on it so we don't fly off the edge. Reversers are stowed. Speed brakes are stowed. And we'll be exiting here.
American 464,
What is this one?
exit right at
Alpha? Yep, that's where they want us anyways.
Exit right
Cool.
at
Well,
Alpha,
welcome to
American
DCA.
464.
Little bit of a weird approach. We'll have to figure out. Again, this is my second time, so it's not a one-time issue. I'll have to, again, I'll report it in the Discord.
Brickyard 4626.
So I think the vectors
270 at 12,
did break
19er,
DCA.
Runway 19er cleared to land.
I think it did.
Runway
Greased
19er
it.
clear
Yeah, we'll
to
see
land.
what my touchdown was. So that was pretty, I felt
4626.
really smooth. Charlie 28 is our
American
gate.
464, contact ground 121.7. Have a good one.
Ground 121.7, American 464.
This is like the middle of the airport. We'll see what they give us
American
for
464 request taxi to
taxi,
company
though.
gate.
Alpha Juliet, probably.
American 464, gate Charlie 28 taxi via Juliet. Hold short runway 4.
Kind of expected. Sometimes they'll give you
Gate
around
Charlie
here,
28
but very
via
rarely.
Juliet. Hold short runway 4, American 464.
Brickyard 5729, contact
Alright, holding short runway 4. Look at that. The flag there. Windsock.
Brickyard 5729.
American 464, cross runway 4 at Juliet. Continue taxi via Juliet, Kilo 2.
Juliet Kilo 2.
Cross runway 4 at Juliet. Continue taxi via Juliet, Kilo 2, American 464.
Delta 1064, gate Bravo 16. Request pushback and engine start.
This is such a really nice airport.
Washington ground, pushback
The one thing I don't like about it is that when it connects the
Engine start approved.
jetway,
East, Delta
it's really loud.
1064.
The bells and whistles. And who was that Delta taking off there? Or is it American? That's American. Why does it look like the FPS there is like really slow? Alright, that's a cool flight. I don't think they ever fly that way. That's why, like, I'm gonna report it. I don't think they ever do that. I think because the iconic river visual is, well, iconic. All right, here's Kilo 2. And gate Charlie 28. We have an American. We have a JetBlue. We're next to that JetBlue, or we're in between the two JetBlues. My FPS is kind of sucking here. There's 28. Taxi lights are off so we don't blind the invisible pixel people. I'm getting that VRAM bug right now. Yeah, my VRAM's maxed out at 16s right now.
Delta 1064.
That's why the
ready to
performance
taxi
just
to be
shot.
active.
Oh, yeah, it's...
Delta 1064.
It's gonna crash, probably.
Taxi via Kilo Sierra Juliet. Hold short runway 15.
Oh, man, yeah, look at that.
Runway
Whoa.
19er taxi via Kilo Sierra.
Getting the VRAM bug really bad right now.
Runway 15,
Alright,
Delta
let's see if we
1064.
can at least get some final things done before we end this flight. GPU, chocks, jetway.
Brickyard 4414.
Go up top here.
Delta 39er taxi
External
via
power.
Foxtrot Juliet November.
Go on down here.
Gate Delta 39er via Foxtrot.
Oh boy.
Juliet, November, Brickyard 4414.
This is how you fly. If you can't fly at 2 frames per second, you have a problem.
Lindbergh 4435.
Alright, so we got that all done. I just wanted to make sure we can get those things turned off for APL.
Gate Bravo 14 via
Alright, flight's been
Foxtrot,
submitted.
Juliet, Golf, Kilo, Lindbergh 4435.
Alright, so let's see. APL, how do we do? That's our next flight, so logbook. A 99, what'd I miss? What'd I miss? Landing lights on or off?
54 at gate Charlie
What?
30,
I'm pretty
request
sure.
pushback.
I know it was like at 800 feet above, so that's crap. Landing rate was what? 129. Yeah, I'd give that a win. That was pretty good.
Pushback and engine
Cool.
start approved. Face
All right,
east.
well, that's a
JetBlue
super
554.
successful flight for sure. I'm gonna kill out Beyondatc. I'm gonna see if that frees up any of the VRAM. Nope, it's still 15.6. So that dropped down my score just a little bit with APL. Alright, well, that's better. My VRAM is like skyrocketing still. Getting much better performance, but VRAM is still 15.6, so it's like almost tapped out. That little bit of 400 megs that, well, not even 400, a little bit of what, 250 megs of Beyondatc gave me enough to at least move. Oh, is it clearing out? Nope. It's just stabilizing a little bit. That's wild. Well, at least it happened at the right time. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching today's stream. A lot of fun. The next one, I don't know when it's going to be, honestly. Next week I have a kind of a weird work schedule. So definitely no morning ones. That's for sure. Maybe weekend, maybe evening. We'll kind of see how things work out. But again, as always, thanks for watching. Up on the channel is a new video. If you have some issues with landing and you'd like to get some tips, I have it in that video, perfecting your landing with airliners. And then I have a couple of videos scheduled for next week, and I got a couple in the pipeline that I'm working on as well. So those will come out at least next week, and we'll see about streaming. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.